Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we got some good big turbo news, ladies and gentlemen. But before we dive into it, ladies and gentlemen, look, if you guys want to join the Discord, highly recommend it. The markets are going crazy nowadays. So if you need a portfolio review or you just want to get information faster, then make sure to join the community. But look, let's just jump right into it, right? We can see that Turbo has posted women belong in every space, including Web3, strong, focused, and leading the way. We can see female Turbo. Oh my gosh, fantastic. No, but no, this is not the big news. The big news is that we have been listed on another exchange, ladies and gentlemen, right? We can see, or if we actually translate the post, translated from Indonesia. So a meme-based crypto asset launched in 2023, created by Het Mankind, right, with full assistance of the OpenAI GPT, blah blah blah. We can see it says the stuff about Turbo, and boom, we've got listed. Now the reason why I find this big news, even though this exchange isn't the biggest in the world, is because Turbo is going global, right? The Turbo is going global, and I believe from what I already know is that we are already listed on a few exchanges that aren't American, or aren't some of the most biggest European ones. And this is what I like to see, right? Covering every single corner that we possibly can, going to countries where, for them buying even like $100 worth of Turbo is a lot. And if they see, lots of return, right? They put in maybe actually $50 or $20, and this coin will do wonders. This coin, let's say, creates them $800. They're going to be, it's life changing. It is life changing. So I like the fact that Turbo is going worldwide. It is going global, and we are here to support it. We are here to support it. Do massive W, with the hashtag Turbo. And yeah, we can see also the April recap, ladies and gentlemen. So we got listed on two exchanges, right? SCX.io live for US users, and the Revolut app. I don't know why I can't pronounce it, but I'm leaving this in the video because why? Because we're chill like that sometimes on this channel. You know what I'm saying? But seriously, yeah, available in the UK and EEA. Collabs and promotions with Turbo and Mexi, right? Zero trading fee. Carnival Week, right? Meme contest, Telegram quiz, X Space, Turbo slash Euro trading pair. I mean, yeah, we saw that was very, very unique, right? Other winners, right? The child's book publishing partner, and of course celebrating this. So very, very, very solid month, if I do say so myself. You got to remember that Turbo has accomplished a lot, and now it is more about just continuously maintaining the progress, trying to become even more global, getting on all these smaller and medium-sized exchanges that we can possibly go onto. And of course the big boy is Robinhood. Robinhood for me is inevitable, like we talked about. So look, that is practically the news for Turbo. When we go to the actual markets, ladies and gentlemen, right, we can see that Turbo is looking to try to push out from its relevant range. We can see that Turbo does not budge, and it does not care about dropping down. It is continuously respecting its relevant zones all the damn time. We can see this daily candle looks absolutely beautiful, right? If we cut the noise and we cut the wicks out, we can see that, yes, sure, it was some sideways movement, but we can see we got a huge pump today. Now, by the time this video comes out, will we maintain it? There's a decent chance we will, but of course, I'll update you guys if we don't. So here's the thing, right? We know Turbo overall, right? Overall should be having an easy way up, at least at the bare minimum, to 0.007, like 475. But since the markets don't literally stop once there's a little bit of resistance, usually goes higher, around 0.008 is where we're most likely going to top out before we not top out necessarily, but before we start slowing down. Look, the markets, if you guys don't know, are going crazy. Bitcoin is at $101,000, right? Big pumps. We can see, we go to something like, Bitcoin, we can see we've been ranging practically, 23rd of April till, I guess until the end of the first week of May, and then we have seen a nice pump, right? We are expecting a little bit of a pullback, or at least a liquidity sweep of 92,000, but we never ever got it, right? we never ever got it. So, the markets continue to go up, they continue to dominate. And unless this weekly candle turns around and becomes bearish or extremely weak, as in a wick, there should be no type of pullback, right? And there most likely won't be any type of liquidity sweep. Why am I saying this? Well, because, ladies and gentlemen, we expected for there to be some type of sweep. And at this current moment, I do not expect that, right? Because right now we are just trading within the relevant ranges and we're pumping up. Same thing with Turbo, right? We know overall the global liquidity is very, very strong and will continue to be very strong for at least the next 2 months for crypto, because we see the liquidity has been entering the markets for some time, but with crypto it's always delayed roughly 75 to like 100 days more or less. And the liquidity has been getting absolutely pumping and pumping and pumping, and we've just been experiencing it for the last 30 to 32 days, and we still have many, many days and weeks of at least consistent green. That doesn't mean every day is going to be a green. That doesn't mean there's not going to be sideways movement. Doesn't mean there's not going to be 1 day of or 2 days of red movement. That doesn't mean there's not going to be ever 1 week of a sell-off. But overall, it just means that, hey, we are looking to continue up. Look, in the event where we do exhaust out a lot and let's say there is some type of retracement, Bitcoin dominance does slam up, right? We could see something very, very similar to what we saw here, where we just kind of continue going up, 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 up. We lose momentum, sell off for a couple of days and then just recover next week. But that would most likely be, especially if we continue pumping up, if we go up to here, that'd probably be back into the zone of 0.005, if I'm being very honest. And then we would go up like this, right? Obviously, I am not the market maker. I do not literally know what's going to happen. If that's going to happen at the moment, I can just tell you what I see. And what I see is that Turbo continues to fail to go lower and lower past certain zones, which means it is super, super, super bullish. Okay. But yeah, look, ladies and gentlemen, we are flying. The markets have been going crazy. That is what we love to see. We know Turbo is going to kill it. We know it. If we go to something like Coin Market Cap and we go to Turbo, we can go to something like Turbo, we can see that we're already at 425 million market cap, 220 million volume. It is just looking fantastic. We are 123rd in the world. We are almost a top 100 coin globally, which is fantastic, right? It is literally fantastic. It was inevitable that this was going to happen, right? It was literally inevitable. We can see that already at 54,528 holders. The holders do not slow down, ladies and gentlemen, and they will continue to rise up as Turbo will be climbing the ranks and obviously pumping over the next few months, right? Exciting, exciting times. Really, really do love it, right? Even if we go to something like, the crypto market cap and we go to memes, we can see, ladies and gentlemen, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is with 11, 12, 13. We are 13th. We are 13th. We were just below Ape the other day, right? We were just below Ape the other day. And Altcoin had a fantastic week. It had a fantastic, actually, 24 hours and is still below us. And Altcoin was much, much higher. We talked about the ratios the other day. And look, man, the ratios don't lie. The ratios don't lie. So we're 13th already. We are closing in on that top 10 gap. And I mean, the big pumps haven't even started, right? The real race hasn't even started. By the time we're solidified, I think we're probably going to be like 6th, possibly even 5th. 5th is the goal, obviously. I know some people think, we can overtake Doge. Guys, got to remember that 20 billion market cap is not the goal, right? Because sure, can we hit 20 billion market cap? Yeah, but Doge is probably going to like 4x from here. So it's not really competing with 20 billion market cap. It's competing more with like 100 billion market cap. So, that is just how it's going to be. Also, we do want a head of, a meme coin, something like Doge. You got to remember that people are going to be putting money into Doge, but then once Doge pumps, right, something like Turbo will most likely continue to accelerate, at least for a few short weeks. And that money from Doge, Sheep, and, possibly even like Pepe will be flying into something like Turbo, causing it to pump even more. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.